Patients who are on sedation on a daily basis, almost 60 to 70% of our patients would be on sedation, especially when they are mechanically ventilated. Sedation is required to keep the patient safe, calm, quiet, and easy to ventilate to. We have tried to avoid neuromuscular blockers. Now, what happens with sedation is it goes inside, and the patient takes a long time to come out of the sedation. Very often, and dexmedetomidine is actually usually for a day and a half and not more than that. Whereas other sedations like opioids, like midazolam, whereas the rest of the medicines will take a long time before it actually comes out of the circulation. Well, there is another form of anesthesia which we call as inhalational anesthesia. This inhalational anesthesia can be used as a sedative agent when we are actually ventilating patients in intensive care unit. For that, the indications for this kind of inhalational sedation, it would actually be status epilepticus, status asthmaticus, difficult to, we want patients to awaken fast. And these are those indications in which probably these particular agents would be used, and probably as time goes, this would be state of the art when we are actually going to give patients in intensive care sedation, probably because the awakening is very quick and the overall general condition remains quite stable. So for this we require the Anaconda system. The Anaconda system consists of the Anaconda anesthetic conserving device. It's called Anaconda. An anesthetic conserving device. These are available in two shapes. We have the S and the normal Anaconda. This is the S150. All right. Okay. And we also need this Fluorabsorb. The Fluorabsorb is the anesthetic gas filter, which is an active carbon filter, which is responsible for scavenging of the excess exhaust gases. You also need the Anaconda syringe. You can't use any syringe, you need the Anaconda syringe. Apart from the Anaconda syringe, there is an adapter that is used for actually taking off gas. Okay, and volatile anesthetics are actually liquid form in room temperature. So what we are having over here is a volatile anesthetic by the name of isoflurane. Isoflurane is usually in a liquid format in room temperature, and once it gets into the circuit, it immediately vaporizes, and that's what causes these patients to go under anesthesia. Open this, please. Okay, so this is Fluorabsorb. Apart from this, you also need to be ensuring that this patient does not have any tube block, because if there is a tube block, nothing is going to work. Second, these patients should be hemodynamically reasonably stable, because if you are on very high support, there is another possibility that this will cause a tremendous drop in blood pressure. You also need a gas monitor. This is the gas monitor that we have over here. This gas monitor has got the provision to actually guess the to find the gas that has gone inside. This is called as the FET or a MAC monitor, which actually will tell us what is the amount of gas that goes inside. As we know, in isoflurane, the anesthesia is used at a MAC of around 1.2 to 1.5, and for sedation we probably use somewhere between 0.3 to 0.7. So how do we proceed? So we first open up the circuit completely. So we open up the syringe. This is the syringe. This is the syringe that we have, which actually says isoflurane. So this is a 60 ml syringe. At any given moment we take 50 ml of isoflurane inside this. Isoflurane will be taken as a liquid. You have this adapter that is over there. The adapter needs to be opened up to open up this section. This will not go into any other container, and for that, that is why you require, as a fail-safe mechanism, we require a connection. This is the connection that we require. This connection is the red connection that we use to actually put up in the isoflurane jar. Okay, so this is a safety mechanism so that anesthesia gas doesn't come out, and that's why we use this. Okay, so now it's got stuck. It will not come out anymore. Once this is done, you take a little bit of 5 or 4 ml, because our worry is that we will expose the anesthesia gas to the atmosphere. Push the air inside, and then take out 50 ml. Okay. Take out the 50 ml completely. Alright. So the entire 50 ml has come off. Alright. This gas, actually all these are single disposal units. The next thing you require is the fluor absorb system. So open this. Usually all of these containers have 24 hours of use. Most of these things are only for 24 hours, and after that you need to change them. So you have this particular system in place, which is the green connector. Can you open this? Whereas this would go as a scavenging system. So when you open this up, this is a scavenging system. Once it's opened and you finish one syringe, you have to indicate that you've used one syringe. Once you opened it, you indicate that there is one syringe that has been used, because it cannot be used for more than that. Okay? Alright. And then you have this system that is over here. That is the anaconda system. So it's written over here. This is going to the patient monitor and this is going to the patient end. Okay. This per se will go into the syringe. This will go into the syringe. Alright. Now, so we're ready to go, it looks like. We need to attach this also. Actually, this needs to be attached here. Okay. And the waste gas is coming out. Okay. So now, sister, can you apply this to a syringe? Okay, so we prime the circuit. We open this up completely. Simple it is. So open this up. Okay, and we attach syringe to this. So for our fail-safe mechanism, so that there is no problem per se. I prime the system. Okay, time the system. No, take it. Apply the system. लगाओ ये. Apply. So we apply the system to this patient in such a way that the EtCO2 is first, and then we open up the system. Pick up these isoflurane from here. Okay. The patient monitor. One second. Where does this go here? This will go from here to here. Patient monitor over here. Just keep it over. 1 second.